What is up? We got a couple things to talk about. We'll try and put out another 2 videos today. So today let's talk about my take on what I think is going to happen between Google and Microsoft. A lot of people are saying that there's some kind of war between them, and I think that might be true. And a lot of people are also saying that there is a war between search engines and natural language processing tools, which I disagree with. So let's get into that. I just watched a video by ScentDex. If you do not watch ScentDex, make sure you're subscribed to him. His videos on opinions, I don't really like his opinions, not to shade him or anything, but his knowledge of Python is insane. The Python videos that he has are the best on the internet, hands down, by far. He is an expert in Python. He is an expert and most of machine learning is done in Python. He's an expert in machine learning. He knows what he's talking about. His opinions are, whatever. Who cares? But he mentioned U.com, which I wasn't aware of. And U.com is basically, it gets Bing search results and it has a chatbot that you can interact with. And unfortunately, it is not usable right now. I'm getting this due to high demand issue. I was able to use it a little bit and it's okay. It does cite sources similar to, there's also Perplexity AI. And this video is not going to be about the different chatbot tools that are competing with OpenAI, but it's just to mention that there are some new tools. But today, let's talk about Google. Let's try and figure out where Google stands, where Microsoft stands, what is happening in the Microsoft Bing versus Google search head-to-head battle that seems to be going on right now. It's 2022 on Statista as the most recent data available. I think we can trust Statista. They try to be a pretty reputable source. I think we can trust their results, and they should be unbiased. Not that Google or Microsoft would put out false information, but let's try and keep a neutral source here instead of relying on either one of them. I guess we could do an average of both. But so Bing has 8.95% of search market share, and Google has 84% of the search market share. All right, so to get a better understanding of what's at stake for Google and Microsoft, let's take a look at their revenues. We'll be looking at this website called 4-Week MBA. I'm not sure much about the website itself, but I did check the actual earnings reports, and the data on the actual earnings reports does match up with the data that this website is providing, and they have some cool graphs, so that's why I will be referring to this website instead of the actual earnings reports. Easier to look at, beautiful colors, fun. So Google search and other, I'm not getting a clear answer on what and other is, but regardless, the chunk, over half of their income is from Google search, and other, I'm gonna guess, is the other services, not including YouTube and Google Cloud, that are on Google. You go to google.com. All the tools in that hamburger menu or that 9-dot menu, Google Play, Gmail, Photos, all of these things, news, perhaps that's what's counted in the other. But that's $162 billion. They're making most of their money solely from search. Whereas Microsoft, they are bringing in $8.5 billion, which is just a small pocket of their total revenue stream. But instead of a war, I think is more of a healthy competition, because Alphabet, we'll call them Google, their $162 billion from search is almost the same as Microsoft's 168 total revenue. So if Microsoft were able to double or triple their search advertising, which I assume that doubling or tripling their search advertising revenue would mean that the user base doubles or triples or has a similar proportional increase. Google is losing, maybe $24 billion. They're losing something, but they're not losing everything. To think that everyone is going to switch over to Bing because they provide a chatbot, I think is extremely unrealistic. Because I think we got to take a look at what people use search engines for. 99% of the time when you're using Google, you're looking for a fact. You're like, who won the World Series in 1967? And asking ChatGPT that, even if you could and it had accurate information, it's going to take longer than to just search it. You could even open up your Google Assistant or Siri, say who won 1967 World Series, and it'll give you a response right then and there. And not just a response, it'll give you a link to a website with statistics on all of the World Series winners, all baseball statistics that you could want. It's going to give you a lot more than what ChatGPT gives you. I think people are really not, it's a lot of hype. No one is, what you use a Google search engine for is not what you're using a large language model for. They're really two completely different things. So if Bing implements a chat system with Bing, it's going to be just kind of a quirky feature that maybe a lot of people will appreciate and use because it's a single point. It's not going to replace the Bing search features. And I also don't think Google is going to release a similar product. Again, they can only lose in this war. So I think what they'll do is try and bolster up the background AI technology to give better snippets, those when you search things and you see that immediate answer, which is based off of a summary of a website, or when you're searching for a video and it will give you the portion of the video that contains the information you're looking for. I think Google's going to amp that up and focus on increasing their Google Cloud computing market share, which is about a third of what Microsoft has. And they're going to try and double down on, I think, providing better AI services with their Google Cloud infrastructure that's paid and private. I think it's a battle between public access and private access of AI technology. This is a battle for the common man and his access to AI technology. Google gains nothing by releasing anything because they already are providing so many free services that are backed up by advertising. I do not think they have any capacity to extract more advertising revenue at this point. Honestly, I don't know how they'll put ads on the chatbot. How are they gonna get more advertising money? I don't know, but they need advertising money to provide more services for free. Microsoft, on the other hand, they are trying to get some of that search market share, bolster up their revenue stream, which I think is possible. I think they can gain from releasing some cool search features that are potentially a little bit edgy. And you've seen the videos of the possible results that large language models can release, which may be less than ideal. It puts out some information that potentially is problematic. Google gains nothing by allowing these services to be used under their name with that kind of output. And that kind of output is necessary for the model to have the usability that people want it to. What Google will try and do, I believe, is up their Google Cloud services and try and get more money from Google Cloud services. They have the technology. They are leading the AI research game, guaranteed. They started the transformer technology back in 2017. They have been working tirelessly ever since. I promise you that their chatbot, Lambda or whatever, is 10 years beyond ChatGPT. I guarantee you that. They need to find a way to make money from that. And I think the way that they will be able to do that is offer an extremely high cost private access to their best models to people who are willing to pay for it through the Google Cloud, which means common man is not going to have access to it, which also means that people are going to be doing training, data collection, and analysis on the back end that's private, unseen, with consequences that we are not aware of. OpenAI is trying to keep things open as their mission statement. They are now a for-profit company. I think they have some kind of profit cap. They're saying something about something. And they are not part of Microsoft. Microsoft is just heavily invested in them and has provided their compute power so that OpenAI can continue doing training on a larger scale and potentially scale up their services to be more accessible to more people. They are two different things. So Microsoft isn't really leading anything in terms of AI technology, and the amount of research they're putting in is significantly less than Alphabet, and probably even less than OpenAI, which is a much smaller company. I believe that as the common man and as a consumer, we need to be hopeful that AI technology continues to be released for free, and we must give praise to OpenAI for planting the seed that these services should be free. In the same way that social media sites and YouTube are free because they were originally free, I think that we'll see that paid for AI services outside of Google Cloud or Microsoft's cloud service or AWS, Amazon's cloud service, I think will be the norm and expected. People are going to push back against paying for AI, which is great because I do not like paying for stuff and I'm all for free products. So we must give blessings to OpenAI and we must be wary of Google. They are not behind. They are not behind. They are not scared. They are not worried. At worst, they lose $24 billion. And, it's significant, but they'll still be number one. They'll figure something else out. They have the technology. They have the research teams. Do not sleep on Google. Fear them. That's all I have to say. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. I'll probably put something else out comparing these chatbots if I can get Youcom to allow me to use their product. It seems there's some high demand, which has been going on for the past about 6 hours now, which is unheard of. So how usable is it? Not that usable. Have a good Sunday, folks. Peace.